Thank you.
All right. See you later.
Okay, thanks. Sorry we're a little late. We had a little technical problem, but we wanted to make sure we could be all together tonight. I know a lot of people are praying for the congregation in Colleyville, Texas, Congregation Beth Israel, where the rabbi and a few of the members who were worshiping together this morning, where most people, like at CRC, were streaming, were kind of taken hostage by a disturbed and angry man. And it's been going on a long time. Apparently, they just released one of the people who was being held. The man seems to not want violence, but who knows? These are really challenging and difficult times. And the question is, he was angry, and he's angry about someone dear to him who's in prison. And why would he go into a synagogue where there's people who have nothing to do with it? How do we as a Jewish people become a catch net for so much hate? And part of that, there's so many ways we can talk about this today, but one of the things that I've noticed, I don't know, Jimmy, if you've noticed this, but we've come of age in America. We have a certain amount of position and power and privilege in America as Jews. And I think that, people assume that they know who we are and that they can't really hurt us because we're so powerful. And we know better. We know it's not true. We know we can be terribly hurt and that we are very vulnerable. And that's how we feel about ourselves. The new book that the new head of the ADL wrote, It Could Happen Here. I know that's how I grew up, believing that it could happen here. So tonight we're just focusing on a better week, a nonviolent response to end to the trauma of today that really has, because it was live streamed, captured the world's attention. The live streaming that was going on when he entered the synagogue has captured everyone's attention. So we're going to make the Havdala prayers and hope that as we leave Shabbat, the Shabbat of Bishalach, where we sang through the sea, again, we could have been silent, but we were not silent in this wonderful moment of our story. We sang our way through the sea. And we enter into a portion about Yitro, the priest of Midian. This non-Jewish priest who became the father-in-law of Moses and changed us. He brought us something, a new way of being that we needed in the wilderness. So I know Jim's got a few psalms to offer.
Let me sing a song first.
Okay.
Havdil ben kodesh lecho, chatoteinu yimachu. Havdil ben kodesh lecho, chatoteinu yimachu. לכבודכם דת לבבי, ידיהו הנביא. לכבודכם דת לבבי, ידיהו הנביא. זרענו וכספנו ירבה כחול, Kakohari balayla לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא יום פנה כצל תומר אקרא לה אלה גומר יום פנה כצל תומר אקרא לה אלה גומר לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא יום אשר אמר שומר אתה בוקר וגם הלילה לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא על ארץ מיכאל יאללה סיידרה גבריאל על ארץ מיכאל יאללה סיידרה גבריאל לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא לכבודכם דת לבבי אליהו הנביא You know what?
What?
I think between parts of the ceremony, make a little silence. And how about one of the Psalms?
Okay.
A song from the Psalms. This is from Psalm 102. Adapted. I'll tell you what. Why don't you read it like a poem first, and then I'll sing it.
Prayer of the Lonely from Psalm 102. You know, it is a custom to say psalms when you want to hold space for something good to happen. So here it is, a prayer from within, poor and wrapped before God. Hear my prayer. My cry comes before you. Do not hide your face from me. This day is hard. Lean in. My days like smoke, my bones burned at the hearth. Like a bird in the wilderness, Like an owl in wasteland, I was restless like a bird on the roof. My heart dried out like grass. I've forgotten to eat my bread. The sound of my sighing, my bones cleave to my flesh. But you, God forever, you will rise at the right time. Be merciful to the dust and turn to the prayer of the lonely. Let this be written for the future, a nation created to praise. Take a look at the earth to hear the cry of the locked up.
A prayer from within, poor and wrapped before God. Hear my prayer, hear my prayer. My cry comes before you. Do not hide your face from me. This day is hard, lean in. My days like smoke, my bones burned at the hearth. Like a bird in wilderness, like an owl in a wasteland, I was restless, like a bird on the roof. My heart dried out like grass. I've forgotten to eat my bread. Sound of my sighing, my bones cleave to my flesh. But you, God, forever, you will rise at the right time. Be merciful to the dust. Turn to the prayer of the lonely. Let this be written for the future. A nation created to praise. Take a look at the earth to hear the cry of the locked up. Prayer from within, my poor, and I'm wrapped before God. Hear my prayer, hear my prayer, hear my prayer. My cry comes before you. Do not hide your face from me. This day is hard, lean in. My days like smoke. My cry comes before you.
That's good. Yeah. Well, that's why we started doing the Psalms project. And it was because we wanted to respond to the pain and to the hurt and to that void. And that's what the Psalms do. They speak to that place. And they help us fill a space. It gives us something we can do. It is prayer, but it's more than prayer, right? It's singing, and it's naming the hurt as well. You have another one?
Well, let's make the blessings and then we'll do another.
Okay. So please join us in letting go of Shabbat We had a really lovely Shabbat. I wish it was the same for the people who are being held hostage. We had a bar mitzvah this morning, and we have a wonderful guard at the synagogue. Thank God for James, who watches our door and keeps us safe. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do today. But it's not every little congregation can afford that luxury of having guards at the door. Uh-oh. There we go. Did we lose? Oops. There we go. Are we okay, Autumn? Are we okay? I hope so.
We're back.
Are we back? Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to keep going as though we're on. So, did Autumn send you a message?
Yeah, but let me see here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Thanks, Autumn. Thanks. So we have wine, we have spices, and we have light. And we use these blessings and these rituals to transition from Shabbat to the days of the week where we do the work of Tikkun. And this week will bring us Monday, Dr. King's birthday, which this year is going to be very different because the country's made a commitment to no celebration without legislation. No celebration until the voting right acts, both of them, are passed. And I know that there are many clergy out there that are fasting and that are going to go to the Capitol and will perform acts of civil disobedience and just push and push and push until we save our democracy. So let's offer the blessings to let go of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei beri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei bine v'samim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei meorei
Ha'esh.
Let me make the whole prayer. Okay? Hine el Yeshuati Eftach v'lo echad Ki ozim v'zimrat yad Adonai v'yi min Yeshua. God is my salvation, Eftach v'lo echad. I am not afraid, I am not afraid. Ki ozim, my strength, my song, my God. Ushavtem mayim b'sason Mimayane Yeshua, from well springs of salvation. Adonai, God is my salvation. Yeshua. Alamcha b'irtecha sela, Adonai Tzvaot imanu, God is with me, Miskav lanu, Elohei Yaakov, Selah. Adonai Tzvaot, my strength, Ashrei Adam boteach bach, Adonai Hoshia, Hoshia HaMelech Ya'anenu b'yom koreinu, oh God, answer us on the day that we call to you. LaYudim hayta ora, Simcha v'sason. To our ancestors there was light, there was joy. Vayikein tihyeh lanu, so there may be for us, may there be for us. Kos Yeshua Tesai, lift up the cup of salvation. M'shem Adonai Ekra. Baruch atah Adonai, Amavdil ben kodesh lecho, ben or lechoshen, ben Yisrael yamim, sheshet yemei hamaseh. The Yom HaShvi'i, between the 6 days and the 7th day. Blessed are you who distinguishes between the holy and the not yet holy. Baruch atah Adonai, Amavdil ben kodesh lecho, ben kodesh lecho, between the holy
And the not yet holy. Oh, are we ready for Eliyahu Hanavi?
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Atishbi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera
ve'yameinu, Yavo Eloheinu, Im Mashiach ben David, Im Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Atishbi,
Eliyahu
Hagiladi. Well, we're still praying that it will be a Shavua Tov, and the people in Texas will be set free, and there will be no violence tonight.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Hatishbi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Hagiladi, Od Yavo Mashiach ben David. Eliyahu Hanavi,
Tishbi,
Eliyahu Hanavi,
Hagiladi,
Od Yavo Mashiach Ben David. We are always waiting, we are waiting, we are waiting. Prayer from within, poor and wrapped before God. Shema Tehilati, Tefilati, hear my prayer.
Hear my prayer.
Shavati Elecha Tavo, my cry comes before you. Al tastir parecha mimeni, do not hide your face from me. B'yom tsar, hate elai, the day is hard, lean in. Asham yamai, my days are like smoke. At smoke tai kimoked the haru, my bones burned at the hearth. Like a bird in the wilderness, I was restless like a bird on the roof. Could see poor Bodeit Bagag. Vayivash libi, my heart dried out like grass. Shechachti me'achal lachmi, I forgot to eat my bread. Kol anchati, the sound of my sighing. Atzmi livsari, my bones cleave to my flesh. But you, God, forever atatakum, you will rise at the right time. Oh, yet afara yichonenu, be merciful to the dust. Panayet tevilat ha'arar, turn to the prayer of the lonely. Let this be written for the future. Nation created to praise. Take a look at the earth. To hear the cry of the locked up. Shema tefilati. Hear my prayer, hear my prayer. Tefillah lifnei Adonai. Cry a prayer before God. Shavati elecha tavo. My cry comes before you.
We cry out. The Psalms cry out. Beautiful. That's all we can do sometimes. The portion this week, Yitro begins, Vayishma Yitro, and Jethro heard, Yitro heard. The rabbis ask, what was it that he heard? Because whatever it was that he heard, it transformed him. And the answer that's usually given is that he heard of the miracles that were done for the Hebrews, for the people of his grandchildren, his daughters' children, his son-in-law's children, his family. The parting of the sea, which we just read in this past week's portion. The giving of the Torah, which technically hasn't happened yet, but the giving of the Torah. Or the rabbis ask, the hate of Amalek, quintessential evil who would not care about hurting another that was other than them. And the rabbis say that's our challenge. Our challenge is, what stories will transform us? Will we be transformed? Was Jethro transformed by the miracle stories, by the stories of love and hope? Or was he transformed by that awful story of terror? The stories of terror. We have a choice to be transformed by stories of awe, love, and hope, or be transformed by these stories of terror that we face every day. And I hope as we go forward, our cries are heard and we're transformed by the stories that in this portion describe our response to God's law, which is to respond as one. Namaste. We will do what we need to do to care for each other and make it better. So we continue with our prayers for the people in the congregation in Texas, and we pray that they're free and that there is a nonviolent end to today's events. Got anything else? Want to give a blessing? Pray that it reaches all the people that need it.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. When the upper worlds and the lower worlds find each other, it will be a secret, generous wisdom. Yisaranai panavelecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And every individual will come to respect the version of God within.
Amen. Ken Yehiratson, let this be God's will. Inshallah, we say. My grandfather used to say Inshallah. He was a Jewish man who understood that God is called by many names, but it is the same God. So we wish everybody, and we wish certainly the community that is suffering so, a Shavua Tov. Let it be a better week. Let it be a good week. A week where we're not mourning, but a week where the stories of awe lift us up. And let it be a Monday of no celebration until there's legislation, and also remembering that it's Tu B'Shvat. You know? It's Tu B'Shvat. The new year of the trees. Even though it looks barren and bare out there. On Tu B'Shvat,
The sap's beginning to rise.
true.
There's a stirring within.
Yeah. Even if we can't see it, it's there. Shavua Tov, everyone. Thanks to Autumn for getting us on tonight. We had a little trouble. So thank you, Autumn. And thanks, everyone, for showing up. Let's keep praying tonight for a good end to this story. Shavua Tov.